PrizePicks. I got a 6-player prop entry on PrizePicks to help you 25x your money. Of course, if it hits, which it will because we're using OddsJam, using the new OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer to find these player props. Fantasy Optimizer, an absolutely amazing tool that I will talk you through. But in this video, just be ready to place a 6-pick entry on PrizePicks. We're looking at MLB props, NBA props, all that good stuff for today, Wednesday, May 3rd. So the OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer, what it does is it pulls plays on PrizePicks, uses the OddsJam algorithmic odds, which we'll get into, to provide you the best of the best options, the best of the best player props to place on PrizePicks. Now, the strategy with PrizePicks, there are a couple things here. Number one, you always are going to want to place a 5 or 6 pick flex. That's just the most optimal entry to place in terms of a math perspective. When you do that, each individual leg has the implied odds of about -119. That's the best bang for your buck when using PrizePicks. So strategy number one, use 5 or 6 pick flexes. But what's really interesting about PrizePicks and all of these different fantasy options, right? So you see everything on here. Any of these platforms you use, you can use the Fantasy Optimizer for. In this video, I am just using PrizePicks. But they have a fixed payout method, meaning no matter what individual plays you add, the payout is going to be the exact same. So you could take Jayson Tatum under 9.5 rebounds, which hint is going to be in our entry, with the OddsJam Algo odds giving this roughly a 55.3% chance of hitting. Or you could take the over, which we know has a 45% chance of hitting for the exact same payout. Well, it makes sense to put in the play that has the higher percent chance of hitting, that has the above 50, above 55% chance of hitting. And that's exactly what the Fantasy Optimizer does. It just highlights in plays that are green that have percent chance higher than the implied odds of -119. And if you're ever curious or you're ever unsure and you just want to see where other sportsbooks price it, you can see right here. Now, these are the no vig odds of all of these other sportsbooks, right? -140 at BetMGM. -135 at Caesars. And then we see like ridiculously all the way up to -188 on FanDuel, which is absurd. And then -134 on Pinnacle for this one play. So when you use the Fantasy Optimizer, it really is as simple as put together as many entries as you can of plays that are green. Now, there are different color codings here. There's yellow, there's red. Now, all of these plays are not going to be bad, right? We see even the lowest percent is above 50%. It's 52.53%. That's still above 50%, right? That's still, it should theoretically hit more often than not. So even if you're looking at it and there's not a ton of green options, the red doesn't mean bad. It just means not as likely to hit as green. So I don't want people to think when they see red, like, oh, that's actually a bad play. No, it's not bad. It's just not as good, right? Sometimes sometimes that is what it is. So these OddsJam Algo odds, which I mentioned, what you need to know about these, and we see that it says no VIG, so these are all with the VIG removed. These OddsJam Algo odds are pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world, a whole wide array of sportsbooks. OddsJam tracks, calculates which sportsbooks are the sharpest, and then removes the VIG using a weighted average. So let's pretend there are like 5 books that are considered sharp. Well, one of them is sharper than the 5, right? There's one that's the best of the 5. All 5 should be put into this algorithm. One's given heavier weight. That's exactly what it means here in terms of the OddsJam Algo odds. So anything with the OddsJam Algo odds, anything that is above the -119 number is going to be profitable. Now we see that there are 8 plays here total. Unfortunately, we can't combine all 8 of them because some of the players are on the same team, but we can get pretty darn close. So play number 1, and you could just literally go through and hammer all these plays. So player name, Joey Lucchesi, I think that's the guy's name, pitcher for the New York Mets. So we are taking his over strikeout prop, which is at 4.5. So we are taking him to go over 4.5 strikeouts. The OddsJam Algo odds gives that just below a 56% chance of hitting. Because we're using it on PrizePicks, because we're putting it on PrizePicks, we're not paying for the -188 juice. We are just paying -119 odds. That's pretty insane. So play number 1, as I mentioned, Joey Lucchesi over 4.5 strikeouts. Play number 2, the play that I already mentioned earlier. This is obviously in the NBA game for tonight. We are taking Jayson Tatum to go under 9.5 rebounds. This has just above a 55% chance of hitting. OddsJam Algo odds price it at about -124 if you want to round up from minus 123.7. All the other sports books with the VIG, so keep that in mind, this is with the VIG, minus 145, minus 145, minus 140, minus 146. Pretty good, right? PrizePicks is giving us the implied odds of minus 119. The sharpest sports books in the world are giving us minus 124. That's profitable. Play number 3, and I love this one. I mean, I like all of them, but I really love this one. Braxton Garrett over his strikeout prop of 4.5. So it's our second MLB strikeout prop. The second one, we are taking an over. This is going to hit roughly 54.5% of the time. Looking at the odds, FanDuel is actually the least high on this one, but still all the other sports books are in the minus 140s. The OddsJam Algo odds are giving this at about minus 120, essentially, if you want to round up. So that's play number 3. Play number 4, we are heading back to the MLB. Not a pitcher prop. We are taking a player basis prop in Pavin Smith to go over his basis prop of 0.5. So literally just needs to hit a single and this play cashes. Gonna hit roughly 54.5% of the time. Applied odds minus 119.76. Looking at the sports books, we don't have anything from FanDuel, but we do have minus 140, minus 139, minus 135, minus 143. Pretty good price here. Play number 4. Play number 5. Willie Adams, another MLB baseball prop, another over his basis prop of 1.5. This is going to hit just below a 54.5% rate. OddsJam Algo odds calculating this at exactly minus 119.5, above the minus 119 number. Now, this is something that FanDuel is super high on at minus 170, with the other sports books in the minus 120s, and then Caesars at minus 133. The Jaylen Brown one, we are going to skip because we already have a Celtics player in Jayson Tatum. So the last play, the 6th and final entry, another MLB prop, another over, another basis prop. We are taking Connor Capel to go over his basis prop of 0.5. So again, just needs to get a single. This is going to hit at a roughly 54.33% chance of hitting, just above that minus 119 number. So it is green, just above that green number. All the other sports books we see price this minus 130, minus 143, minus 133. So 6 player props that all are going to hit above that 54% rate, which means that they are a profitable entry to put into PrizePicks. So if you're tailing these 6, comment and let me know. Other than that, hit me up at my Twitter handle. You see here, comment, I mentioned, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching and have a good one. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Below are all of my different social medias where I post picks and plays daily. Make sure to hit me up there. Also, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as I'm constantly putting out new videos to learn how to make money sports betting. And that's it. So thanks for watching and have a good one.